moved it.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Can't wait.
You make good things.
But just to clear my path. Sorry to move here. Sorry, guys.
All right, let's jump in for the afternoon. We have spent the entire morning and the first part of the afternoon talking all about delivery skills. What happens around the words, how you speak them, how you sound, pausing, eye connection. Now we're going to spend the rest of the day talking about the message itself. Having clear and concise messages is critical to being able to have influence. As we navigate through the Communication Quick Start this afternoon, picture how this tool works for any communication situation that has influence or action attached to it. When you use this tool, there are lots of great benefits in it for you. It's going to help you stay on track. It's going to help your message have more structure and more clarity. It'll help you influence action at a deeper level. When you start to write a message or develop a message, you know that you've got some time on an agenda. What kind of struggles, what are your hurdles? When you go to get started, what do you struggle with?
What's the document you're creating? I'm sorry.
Pardon me?
Well, what is the document? What are you creating?
You're creating a message. You've been asked to lead a meeting, you're going to meet with a client, you've got some time on an agenda. You start putting together your message. What kind of hurdles do you run into?
What's important to the audience?
What's important to the audience? That's a big one. What else?
Time.
Time.
How are you gonna open?
Openings. That's a big one. We get really entrenched in the meat and potatoes, the body of our message. We forget, how are we going to open it up to engage, really pull them in a quick way? I'm glad you brought that up. It's a critical part. Time is a big part. You have a lot to say. How's it going to all fit in? Time connects closely with the right information for the right listener. That helps you tailor it, will help you tailor that message so that you work with just the right information for the audience that your message is for. All of these hurdles are common. You had one, Diane. I felt like you were going to throw one in right at the beginning.
Oh, I just was thinking of a client meeting that I typically prepare for quarterly, and have a lot of different personalities that I present to. And the CFO has an attention span of probably 8 to 10 minutes. And so we always do the agenda, so the important critical things are done. And then I have somebody else in the room that would listen to me for an hour if I would just talk for the whole hour. So we make the topics fall off, so the attention spans will fall off. So probably not the typical scenario, but I've learned.
What behind that though is knowledge of your listener.
Yeah.
You know what you have to do to that message in order to keep the people engaged based on what you've learned. Nice approach. When we sit down to create messages, we tend to get caught up in the content first. What and how? We like to answer those questions first. What is the project or the process? How much is it going to cost? What, how? Now the what's and the hows are really important pieces of our message. They are the body of our message, our key points and our subpoints. Sometimes we forget to ask ourselves an even more critical question before we start developing our content. What's that question we miss? Who is one of them? You are on it. You bet. And
Why?
and why? What is my point exactly, and why does it matter to this audience? The what and hows are critical. That is the body of your message.
Who's the coffee?
Oh, coffee delivery. We'll pause, let the coffee arrive. It's going to be a very exciting
Oh,
point
awesome.
in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No worries, no
Okay.
worries.
Thank you.
Sorry for the interruption. All right. Okay.
The what and the hows are critical. They are, as I mentioned, your key and subpoints, the main points you're trying to drive home. Notice that the why lays outside of the what and the how on this model. It's the thickest layer. That why element is absolutely critical to having influence. Until we address it, and peel it back, we don't get to the deepest point of our listener's point of view. The why has to be addressed. Chris, you led me right down the right road. We address it by asking ourselves, now, who are they? You can't address the why until you have a really clear picture on who exactly you're talking to. Sometimes we dive in and we just start creating this information without giving some real thought. Who specifically is going to be there? How do I tailor this message to resonate with them as quickly and as effectively as possible? Sometimes points make it into our message that absolutely affect it at a very important level for a different listener. We'll first address the who so that you can catch people's attention and tailor that message specifically for the sets of ears it's going to land on. Let's take out the communication quick start. This is the tool that we're going to develop for the rest of the afternoon. This is also the structure that we're giving your 3 to 5 minute conversation for tomorrow. You will deliver this message tomorrow. On the left side of the communication quick start is a quick listener analysis to address that who question that is so critical to our why. I'm going to walk you through that. Let's do it together. I put Post-it notes in front of each of you. Those Post-it notes are exactly the size of those small yellow squares. Have you picked up on that? That's for two reasons. One reason is it gives you the opportunity to change them around easily without messing up your communication quick start. They're also the size of those spaces because we want you to use this tool over and over and over again. Place those Post-it notes, pull them off for a new message. It's easy to fall into the perception here that you would only pull this tool out for a really high stakes, big gig, really important conversation. What I'll show you shortly is how this tool can be used even on the fly. You only have 5 or 10 minutes. You're going to be pulled in on a call. You want to give some structure to your thought. Use this tool. Pull it out on a daily basis. You can use it for very low stakes, more casual conversations, all the way up to the really high stakes, very prepared, bigger gig. Just keep that in mind as we navigate through. And by using Post-it notes, you can peel them off and use it time and time and time again. On the left-hand side, you'll see a yellow box that says subject. This is that work-related, influential topic that you thought of before coming today. Write that down and put it on a Post-it note and put the Post-it note in that square.
Are there any parameters associated with what that topic is? Or what that presentation is? Other than work-related?
Work-related, influential. Has an element of influence around it, which is most of our conversations.
Or else why have them, right?
I'm going to use eye connection as my topic. I just took you through some learning on that this afternoon. We'll revisit how I use the quick start for that piece. Eye connection is my topic. Before you even start developing your message on the right side of that quick start, let's go through getting to know your listener, K-N-O-W. It's an acronym. Give some thought to this. The K. What does the listener or listeners, do they already know about this topic? What's their current knowledge base? Write it on a Post-it note, as many words as it takes to capture this information, and place those Post-it notes in your research box off to the left. Brainstorm. What do they already know? Moving on to the N. What do your listeners need to know in order to make the decision or commitment in the amount of time you're going to give them? The O in KNOW, what is their current opinion about this topic? Where do they stand? And the W, be very specific here. Who are they? Are they the decision makers? What role do they play in the organization? What role do they play in this process? Who are they? Be as specific as you can. You can put their names, their role, their title. If they are a gatekeeper to the decision maker, make note of that here. If they are the decision maker, put that there. Now that took us maybe 5 minutes. You have a clearer picture in your mind of your listeners and what's important to them. Now the why can be addressed. Without this information, without this clear snapshot of specifically who you're talking to and where they stand on the topic, what their needs are, it's really hard to resonate to what's important to them. Now you can. Remember how I said the what and the how, the key points and subpoints? That's the body of your message. All of that critical information, the process, the systems, whatever it is that you decide they need to know, that's your what and how. Your why is addressed in the openings and the closings of your message. Openings and closings are where the influence happens. Now, with this picture of these listeners in mind, let's develop a really strong opening and closing for the message that you've chosen. Those key points and subpoints, that's your homework for tonight. We're just working on a powerful opening and a powerful closing with a specific ask. That will resonate to the why. Let's move to the other side of the quick start. Now we're shifting your thinking. Up until this point, we've only been thinking about the listener. What their opinion was, what they already know, what they need to know. Now let's shift our thinking into your mind. What's your opinion about this topic? How do you feel about it? How important is it?
Very passionate about it.
You're very passionate about it. What's your topic, Doug?
My topic is Silicon Beach, the investment in many opportunities.
Give me an opinion, one sentence, about how important this is or how you feel about it.
If we don't invest in Silicon Beach, we will be just like Silicon Valley, and we will be the last in place of the big four.
Not investing will put us in last place. That's a strong opinion. There's your opinion. My opinion about eye connection this afternoon, it is the only skill that develops trust between you and your listener. That's my opinion about eye connection. So come up with a strong one-sentence opinion about how you feel about this topic. Before you get too far, new rule. Anytime you transfer to the right side of the quick start, you're starting to develop real content, 3 words or less per Post-it note. You'll speak it in a real sentence. We want to be grammatically correct when we speak. The reason that we want only 3 words per Post-it note is this will be your notes tomorrow. You will physically bring this quick start up to the front of the room when you deliver tomorrow. Now, if you have a paragraph written on every Post-it note tomorrow, how's that going to work for you as your notes? What's going to happen, Diane?
Read or try to read and.
You got it. It will be awkward. You will either sound contrived and read it word for word, or you will look down, try to get your place. There will be too many words. The pause will be really long and it will build anxiety. It will throw you off track. But keep it succinct. You can just, in a glance, look down and get just enough words to help you remember and speak your opinion with confidence. 3 words or less per Post-it.
Oh, God.
Which 3 do I choose? Next step over. Here's the good news, by the way, before we move to the next step. Your openings and closings are almost identical. You can take that same opinion that you developed about your topic and move it right down to the bottom where you've got an opinion in your closing. Same opinion. Before we go any further, let's make sure our opinions are true opinions. Doug, we heard yours. Carol, what's your topic?
Unplug to communicate.
Unplug to communicate, that's her topic. I like it. What's your opinion about it? How important is it? How do you feel?
That it's the key to future success.
Key to future success. There's her opinion. Unplugging to communicate is the key to future success. That is her opinion. Chris, I'll let you choose. Diane, your topic.
I'm trying to convince my client that they need to implement a tardy program.
Implementing a tardy program. What's your opinion?
My opinion is that this implementation is a business imperative.
Business imperative, great. Mark, what's your topic?
It is to convince an attorney that to hire us when the attorney and the client think there's possible independence issues.
What's your opinion?
That the concerns are unjustified.
No, that works. Will your opinion create an open mind? Give some thought to how you might word that would open their mind or build a wall. And I could be, I don't know your topic well.
Mhm.
Just consider that. If the first thing you speak, your opinion will be one of the first things you speak, will it open them up to the conversation or will it make your job harder?
Probably the latter.
Reconsider your opinion. What
That's
you're
what I'm
trying to do is
struggling
open,
Yeah.
state your opinion with confidence, open their mind, and we're getting to the last part, which are benefits for them for hiring you for the job. Just chew on that a little bit. You may opt to go for it. You may opt to stick with it, because it is an opinion. It's a strong one.
But I don't think we need to, yeah, I mean, they've already said, you know, they've interviewed various experts and have already said, you're the best guy for this. We want you. But the attorney sees this as baggage, as, you know, ultimately the attorney is the gatekeeper for the client. The client is risk adverse. The attorney is just saying, I don't want the baggage. I got enough to worry about. I want things clean, crisp, and without problems. So it's not saying, hey, you know, we're great, hire us, because they already think that.
You're saying the concerns aren't warranted.
Well, yeah, it's more about, you know, hypothetical scenarios that the client think may occur, and if they did, then it would prevent us from actually seeing seeing this particular litigation to the end. It would mean that we would have to excuse ourselves.
Let's go with it. I like it.
Okay,
See how it all shakes out. I think it's going to work.
okay.
You got opinions? Chris?
So mine is, we have it's called the International Core of Excellence. It's a basket, mostly in New York, of tax professionals from around the Deloitte network from other countries. And so my initiative is to get greater participation in the local office. They come to visit on a periodic basis, and we have been doing a good job of bringing them out to clients. And I think it's an important part of showing that we're a global firm and increasing our imminence in the marketplace.
There we go. Careful that your opinion isn't also a benefit. You see that spot at the end for benefits, which is increasing our spot in the marketplace? Be
Okay.
careful that your opinion is just how you feel and the benefits are saved for their appropriate spot. Moving on. There's only one difference in your opening and your closing. What is it? Take a look at your quick start.
Closing is like where you ask, where you require some commitment.
In your closing, your action step you're about to ask is very specific. Let's develop that one first, then we'll come back up to a more general ask in your opening. A specific action step is measurable and quantifiable. Fast forward to the end of your conversation. What do you want them to commit to? What action do you want them to take by when? What and when?
In only 3 words?
Now, the 3 words are just your reminder words. You will speak this in a sentence. Now that you've got your specific action step, what you want from them and when you want it, now let's rewind to the opening of your conversation. What do you want them to do while you navigate through your key points and your subpoints? Do they need to keep an open mind? Do they need to reconsider something they've decided to do that you're asking them to undo? Do they need to consider different options, explore other options? Your general action step is a verb. What do you want them to do as you navigate through the what and the how, the body of your message? When I was opening up eye connection this afternoon, I asked you to visualize this scenario when you were talking with someone, but they kept looking over your shoulder. Remember that? That was my general action step. And I asked you, what did that feel like? That was just a general action step to get you thinking and considering this idea of eye connection. What do you want them to do? Let's hear one of these just to make sure we're on the right track. What do you have, Mark, for a general action step? Have you made it that far yet?
Still kind of
General or
toiling
specific?
right there.
General.
Oh, I thought we were starting down here.
We did. I just want to make sure that you've got this idea of general. Specific is pretty easy. That's what you want them to do and when. General action step can be a bit tricky. Let's make sure we're on the right track. What do you have for that, Doug?
I didn't know what was specific.
Oh, you did specific up above as well. Okay, so general is
I
more
didn't do- I
more
didn't do the
general.
other
It's
part.
just a verb
Yeah.
of what you want them to do, stay open to, consider, reconsider.
Mhm.
What do you want them to do as you navigate through your message? Think about how different things would be if. Reconsider, consider, stay open. These are all ideas of general action steps. What do you have,
I
Carol?
have reconsider your communication methods.
So, reconsider your communication methods. Perfect. What do you have, Mark?
Reconsider the need for a waiver.
There we go. That's it.
And ask my client to participate in a live demo program.
Consider participating in a live demo. Love it. Great, you're on the right track. I like it. Now, the easiest and most critical part. What's in it for them if they do? they decide to onboard with your idea, move forward, make the commitment, what do they stand to gain by doing that?
Where does that go?
Under the benefits line. What's in it for them?
So we done general action up above?
We did.
Specific action, so what, that was a general action.
Your general action step, your specific action step is the what and the when. That commitment you're asking them to make.
So
That's
thing I
on the
just-
bottom, right where it says specific.
Right, but the thing, when you asked me what was my, and I said reconsider the need for.
That's your general.
That's a general,
Yep, and that happens in the opening.
okay,
And then the closing is specifically what you're asking them to commit to and by when.
okay,
Are we all good on that?
yep.
The general and the action before we move forward? Consensus? You good on that, Diane? Doug, you good on the general versus the
Yeah.
specific?
Yep.
All right. Now the benefits in both spots. 2 or 3 key benefits that are in it for them if they decide to get on board with the idea or make the commitment.
This is up above or down below?
Both.
Okay. They're the
Both in
same.
the opening and the closing. The only thing that's different in your opening and your closing are your action steps. One is very specific, one is more general. Everything else is identical.
So would you put there engaged, trust?
Yes.
focus?
On eye connection this morning, I said that if you practice the skill of eye connection, you'll be more engaging,
yeah.
build trust, and be more focused in your message. Those were my benefits for you. Now come up with 2 or 3 key benefits for your listener if they onboard with your idea.
Okay.
We'll all stay on the list. These spaces are for the key and something.
Okay.
And W. Always down this list before you start on this. Institutions, tracks, this, this, this. You put your benefits for the All right. Are you done?
Good. More than 3 words, but fine with that.
Well,
Build a base, future of
nice. You got the reconsidering that pricing.
it. And resources.
Great. Looking really good in your commitment stuff, for what and when, is it quantifiable, when you want them to?
Yeah, I can chance.
Great. How's it going, Mark?
Did I come up with one more?
Benefits? Do you have 2?
Yes,
Plenty.
okay. They just put them down below?
Same thing down below. Was this working for you, Carol? I'm ready. Nice. Great. You've just created a powerful opening and closing that tells your listener very quickly at the beginning and end of your message how you feel, what you want them to do, and most importantly, why. That answers your why. Remember the why in the why model? What is your point and why does it matter? We're going to get to that why within a minute or so of opening up our message. The only thing that precedes this opening, you'll see a spot on the quick start called spark. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Right now, let's just focus on working through these influential openings out loud. Let's hear how they sound when you get right to the point and use this as your opening for your message. Now there is a line there under your opening that says 30 seconds. The idea is to be so concise with this opening that you get through it in 30 seconds or less. And remember, you've got your whole body of your message to speak to the points, to spell out how the processes are going to happen or what it will entail. The quicker you can get your listener to hear how you feel, what you want them to do, and what's in it for them, the more you open up your opportunity to have influence on them. Be concise and be succinct. What that means is getting rid of something we're really accustomed to doing. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're here to talk about, they know why they're there, and you're just wasting time. We're going to really push you to get rid of all of those launch openings that we use that really just give us a segue into our information. We're going to replace them with a clever, attention-grabbing spark. And once you've delivered your spark, that we're going to get to in a moment, then you pause and dive straight into this 30-second opening. So let's work through that. Let's hear what these sound like out loud. Diane, will you play along? Let's hear it. Nothing more. No, we're here today to talk about, no filler, no extras. Just use this as your opening, as though you've just engaged with us. We've already done the niceties, we've sat down, and we'll also imagine that you had your spark, already came out, we've heard that information, and you say, go for it.
See, I believe the implementation of a Tardy-like product is a business imperative for you. What we'd like for you to do is participate in a live demonstration of this program, but ultimately the benefit being to you that you know exactly at any point in time what your tax basis is in your loan portfolio.
Not bad. Well, that was certainly less than 30 seconds. I'll go grab a timer so we can time it next time. Did you hear anything extra in there that would have made it even more succinct? Anybody pick up on that? Let's try it without the I believe, and let's try it without the what I would like you to do is. Let me grab my timer, and we're going to see how much time we can shave off that opening just by getting rid of those extra words. All right, Diane, you've just done your spark. Long pauses in between each element. Before you move on from opinion to general action, a nice long pause. Same thing after action into benefits. No, I believe, I think, I feel. Those tend to just be extra. If you're saying it, you think it, you believe it, you feel it. What I'd like you to do is, the word that follows that is the first word of your sentence. By saying it, you want them to do it. All right, let's hear it. This time I'll time you. Let's see what a 30-second opening sounds like.
Implementation of a Tardy program is a business imperative. Please join us on a participation in a live demonstration of this program. Ultimately, the benefit is that you would know tax basis in your loan portfolio at any given time from there in order to gain comfort with your taxable income, distribution requirements, and ultimately REIT status.
How was that? Give her some feedback. Clarity there? Did you hear her opinion? What was her opinion, Doug?
It was a business imperative.
It was a business imperative. What would she like us to consider doing?
Implementing a systematic portfolio, whatever the approach.
Participating in a,
At this point, I'm just asking for them to participate in a live demo,
okay, participate in a live demo.
because it's a general,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll get more specific.
You bet. And why?
Because they need to know their tax basis and their loans.
Mm-hmm. Is that one of your benefits?
Yes,
Good. And why else?
because as a REIT, they have certain distribution requirements
Mhm.
that they have to be met. The tax distribution requirements are based upon taxable income, and the tax basis in loans impacts taxable income.
Good. Now give me those benefits in quick bullets, as though I am that listener. Let's hear those nice and succinct bulleted. It will, or he will,
It will enable you to know your tax basis in your loans, have comfort with your taxable income calculations, with your distribution requirements, and ultimately your REIT status.
there we go. Nice, clear, concise benefits. Now, let's put it all together, minus any extras or fillers, with those pauses. Aren't the pauses key for her? When you stop longer in between each sentence, you have much more impact. So let's hear that from the top. This time the clock's really running, okay? I accidentally hit stop last time. Here we go.
Implementation of a TARDI program is a business imperative. By participating in a live demonstration of the program today, you'll understand how the benefits can be achieved via understanding tax basis in your loan.
Benefits achieved, period.
Okay.
They are,
Understanding your tax basis in your loan portfolio, ultimately being comfortable with taxable income computations, distribution requirements, and ultimately REIT status.
with my interjection, 29 seconds. Not bad. How does that work for you?
Yeah.
Nice. Not bad for your first time around. Thank you for letting me
Yeah.
work with you on that. Let's hear yours, Doug. 30 seconds on the clock. Nothing more, just nice and concise, each of the 3 elements. Listeners, give him some feedback. We want to know, do we hear an opinion, a general action step, and the benefits? All set?
Yeah. We all know what happened in Silicon Valley. We didn't invest and we came in last place. Right now, we have Silicon Beach in front of us. If we do not invest, we will be in last place. We need to commit new audit resources and audit pricing for new audits. And by doing that, we'll be able to grow our EGC and DGS practice and build and bring in new audit clients to the firm.
That's it. Nicely done, nice and concise. Did we hear each element?
Mm-hmm.
They're all there. Partner up. We're going to practice this same drill that I just did with these 2, walking it through. I'll set the timer for 30 seconds. We're going to do this as a group guided activity. You'll work in pairs. Take turns practicing it out loud. The goal is to get the opinion action benefits out with clarity in 30 seconds or less. Listeners, coach the speaker on the use of fillers, pause, and eye connection. Be ready to give them feedback on if you heard all 3 elements. They were as pausing in between each, and if they've got courage to look up from their notes, give some eye connection. And when you've got your notes in front of you, it's a really strong tendency to want to use them and talk to them. Now, because we've already coached you to keep them really succinct, how do you use your notes and make eye connection?
When you first start, you make sure, how I've always looked at it is, you know your first point. And then during your pause and your transition to somebody else, you then can look down and grab the word to remind yourself of the next point.
You got it. That hence the need for a really succinct post-it note. But own it. Avoid doing the drive-by or the quick glance, trying to pretend like you didn't need your notes and keeping it really subtle. People are onto you. Own it. Pause. Look for what you need in silence. Find those eyes and start talking again once you have eyes. It's okay to need your notes. It's not okay to pretend you don't need your notes when you really do and try to wing it. You'll maintain more credibility by just getting what you need, connecting with eyes, and delivering. All right, so you've got a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, I'm going to partner with you on this. 30 seconds. Remember, give them feedback on each element. Can you identify them? And fillers. Were they able to eliminate the unnecessary words like I believe and I feel and I'm here today to talk about? Get rid of the extra and use eye connection.
Was I at the third?
29 seconds.
Was
See,
but I actually put a bit of a,
you did, that included a bit of a spark.
so that's not supposed to be part of the 30?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow, I would encourage you, once we get to spark, and we talk about that a bit more, to use that story as your spark. Expand on it a bit. All right, we're going to try this out loud. I'll guide this with the timer, see if it gets done in 30 seconds. I'll time it.
So should I do it to you?
I will reset the timer for another 30 seconds to give some feedback, and then we'll switch roles. All right, let's just hear this out loud.
What we have here is a
What?
failure to
Just
When?
these 3 elements, no
We need
extra words
to
or fillers.
unplug.
Ready?
Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
yeah.
I'll do the timer together. Ready? And go.
Your
What
concerns
we
are
have here is a
justified.
failure to
Boy,
communicate.
would never
We need
do
to
anything
unplug.
that would
to
potentially
communicate.
jeopardize your case.
The key to
Subject
future
us to
success for all of
disqualification.
us is going to be better communication.
For that reason, I
both
believe a
verbal and
waiver is
written.
not
We
necessary.
need to
And
reconsider our
the
current
language that you
communication
desire, you can
methods
incorporate
so that we
into our
can be
retention
viewed
agreement.
as leaders by both the more mature generation
Therefore,
and the younger
my request
generation.
would be for you to reconsider the need
Good
for a
start.
waiver.
I would eliminate what I
That
want
was
you to do
The
is.
benefits that
Less
you're
of
going
a
to
less
achieve
words.
are you're gonna get a proven expert
whole
that
lot
has
less.
direct experience in this area. It's gonna bring value.
Did you get it done in 30 seconds or
No,
less?
No, no.
If you didn't, there's a good
30
chance
seconds
there
comes
are
up pretty quickly.
extra words you don't need.
With their-
Remember, this is just a quick
There was another-
attention-grabbing
Really?
opening that gets right to the point. How you feel, what you want them to do, and 2 or 3 quick bullets of what's in it for them. What I'd like you to do is, today we're here to talk about, I think, I feel, I believe, doesn't make the cut. Makes it too long. Nice and concise. Hook, 30 seconds, give some feedback to your speaker, and then we'll switch roles.
Thought it was really
So-
good. I thought
Whatever.
the sentences that you do, definitely.
Just make it my
I think
first
the pause
sound.
could have been
First of all,
a second
you
longer
put it
in
right
between
up. That's
each
the
one of
first
them.
word.
And then I
What
think
was
your
it?
tone could have been a little stronger at the beginning of each sentence.
Unjustified?
I did like the ending
Unjustified.
of.
First of all, I would just incensed. You're
It's
saying,
hard to
you're
know.
basically attacking me.
I
for
know,
one, I
you're
would
trying,
say-
you're trying to
All I would
focus and
say
then
is,
you're hearing all this.
in this current situation, a waiver is not necessary.
Alright.
That's your opinion. You're done. You put a lot of filler words around.
All right, gotten some feedback? Let's
And then
switch roles.
You used therefore and.
You already did.
And you could just
Yeah.
succinctly say your 3
Okay.
general languages.
You get to practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much more succinct.
All right.
All right, 30
Good.
seconds on the clock. Listener, you're now the speaker, vice versa. Be ready to give that same feedback. I'll let you try it again. Here we go.
We all know that
An
this
increase
is
in
a Silicon
implementation
Valley.
program is
We didn't invest, we ended up in last place. We have
in
business
participating in a
imperatives,
lot of
Silicon Valley
demonstrations
right
of our
now.
target
A lot
product.
of startup companies,
For you to
we can
understand
invest.
the
If we don't
benefits.
invest,
Think about your
achievements,
client's
and
place.
understanding
It
of
might
what your
want
tax
resources,
basis is
and we
in
need
your
to commit.
portfolio at any given
This
time.
will give
Better
you the
the
By
opportunity
knowing the tax basis in the
to
By
portfolio,
doing so,
this
we would grow the industry and DGS practice in bringing new
Our
audit
distribution
clients.
requirements have been met and ultimately.
Those hard
the REIT
stops.
status
30
has
seconds
been
is up. 30 more seconds on the clock for feedback. Give some feedback.
Thought it was well
More
delivered.
breaks in between sentences.
I got all
A lot
the
of run-on
key-
sentences.
yeah, the key
some,
points, your
you know,
opinion, the
more concise.
benefits.
And you might want to shorten it a little
I
bit.
think
because
the eye
you came in
contact
just
is
over
there. I
30.
didn't hear any.
And if she's, as you add a
extra
star,
words,
you're gonna be with
filler
the
words.
30.
So
It's
there's
hard
nothing really
also
there.
because it's such
Your
subject
I don't see
is a
it.
very
I think
technical
just
subject.
my own,
So trying
I
to
didn't
shorten it
pause
into 30
between-
seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm wondering, may not,
I
may
just
not
kept
always
going.
make
They kind of went to
sense.
one to
Yeah.
the
I just
other.
kept going.
Yeah,
You know,
that's how you
That's what I was
finish it,
asking
30
on the
Yeah.
benefits. I do need to know that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well,
But I
you
need,
kind of need
where
to
you
know
were,
what your
it was
income
good.
is.
Yeah.
And if you don't get your
Paused,
income
you
right,
looked down, grabbed it, here's
Yeah.
and ultimately,
That
and
was-
that's
Yeah.
fine.
That was what I'm saying.
They're all,
I mean,
they're all
you were
kind of
very
They're all
the same.
connected
Yeah.
and,
Pause,
and
period.
that's one of the
You look
challenges
down, grab the
sometimes is
note,
to how to
you came
shorten
back
that
up,
sentence so
and
it
went
still
out.
makes
Which
sense.
All right, let's
That
wrap
gets
up
me
our
through.
feedback and
Okay.
meet back together as a group.
Great job.
I think
Are you
that's-
starting to hear how we have this tendency to make things longer than what they need to be? Easy to do, isn't it?
Okay.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's easy to make things longer than what they really need to be.
Yeah.
The extra words, sometimes we feel in our opinions that we have to over-explain or give a lot of background. You don't need to do all that. You'll have time to go there in the body of your message. If you do need to spend time on background as a key point, you'll have that opportunity. Save it for the body of your message. That opening is 30 seconds, how you feel, what you want them to do, and what's in it for them. Plenty of time you've bought yourself. The more succinct you stay in your opening, the more time you have in the body of your message to go deeper into detail. So save it for the detail, save the details for the body. Here's the great thing about the quick start that I love. We tend to get into the mindset that this is only for the big gig. I mentioned that earlier. You'd only really sit down to do this for a long prepared conversation. The more you get used to using it, you start thinking an opinion, action, benefit, opinion, action, benefit, opinion, action, benefit. It's such an influential response to even an on-the-fly conversation. You can use this when you get used to the cadence of it anytime. Somebody throw me a topic, non-political, non-religious, please. Some sort of generic topic that you'd like me to talk to you about, and I'm going to show you how quickly this works on the fly. Throw me anything.
Plastic grocery bags.
Plastic grocery bags are not helping our environment. I encourage you to switch to paper if you haven't already. Even better, get your own fabric bag that you can travel with. When you quit using plastic and start going with a more environmental choice, you contribute to the health of our environment. You're an example for the children of how to live and protect our planet. See how easy? What was my opinion? They're hurting our environment. What do I want you to consider?
To move to plastic.
Paper bag.
Paper or reusable.
Paper or reusable, why?
Saving the planet.
And why else?
Kids.
Be a good example. That's it. That's it. Gardening, your turn. Opinion.
Gardening is a wonderful hobby that you enjoy throughout an entire lifetime.
And you want me to?
I encourage you to join a community to share enthusiasm for this hobby
Why?
and learn a little bit more about it. Ultimately benefiting you by having the output of gardening through your diet, through exercise, and just spending time outdoors.
There you go. Did you hear her opinion?
Gardening's good.
It's a good thing. What should I consider doing?
Do more gardening.
Join a
It's
club, learn about it, and why?
Healthier.
Healthy.
living,
Healthier, get some exercise doing it,
Be outside.
and be outside. You're a champion at this already. You really can use it on the fly. That elevator conversation, you run into someone and they say, can you give me just 2 minutes on that update on this and why is this important anyway? Why are we spending so much time on this? Opinion, action, benefit. It's really critical or essential. Consider this and why. Anytime, even on the fly, you can go to the quick start to give your message some structure and some impact. Let's each try it out loud. This is taping, but it's a bonus recording. We don't play it back. We don't get coached on it today. It's just for you to go back so that when you listen to your playback, you can hear how effective it is. It's also another opportunity for you to practice it out loud. Good? You can
just through the opening.
Yeah, we're just going to go through your opening from your quick start. You can stand or sit. I encourage you, if you have an idea of what you're going to do tomorrow, do that today. If you know for certain you're going to stand, stand. If you know for certain you're going to sit tomorrow when you deliver this, sit. It'll help you practice it the way you're going to deliver it. Same drill as the paired exercise. I'll set the timer for 30 seconds. Listeners, listen for opportunities for the speaker to be more concise. Be ready to give feedback on pausing, eye connection, succinctness. Good?